The name Bond has long been synonymous with espionage, adventure, and a license to thrill. Enter Jane Bond, the equally brilliant and resourceful younger sister of the legendary 007. While James has always captured the public's imagination, Jane has been honing her skills in the shadows, waiting for the moment to prove herself worthy of the Bond name. Jane Bond, The Rising Sun mission marks the beginning of a new chapter in the Bond saga, one where a new hero will rise to face a changing world of threats and uncertainties. Jane Bond, The Rising Sun mission is not merely a spin-off or a reimagining, it's a bold evolution of the spy thriller genre. Jane Bond is not defined by her relation to James. She is her own force to be reckoned with, possessing her own unique skills, instincts, and approach to espionage. Where James might rely on brute force and charm, Jane operates with a more calculated precision, using her sharp intellect and mastery of disguise to outmaneuver her opponents. The Rising Sun mission takes viewers on a captivating journey through the vibrant and multifaceted country of Japan. Our story begins in the heart of Tokyo, a city pulsating with life, where ancient traditions intersect with cutting-edge technology. Beneath the dazzling lights and bustling crowds lies a hidden world of secrets, alliances, and betrayals. Her mission: infiltrate a ruthless Yakuza gang suspected of eliminating MI6 agents with chilling efficiency. As Jane delves deeper into this perilous underworld, she uncovers a sinister plot, a ticking time bomb that threatens global stability. The pilot episode, aptly titled The New Madam, opens with a breathtaking shot of Tokyo at night. Amidst this urban jungle, a lone figure arrives, her presence as subtle and sharp as a whisper. This is Jane Bond, but gone is the tailored elegance she donned in London. In her place stands a woman transformed, her appearance carefully crafted for the role she must play. Her destination, the opulent and secretive world of the Hanasaki Geisha House, a world as alluring as it is perilous. Here, within the silken embrace of Tokyo's pleasure district, Jane Bond will begin her perilous dance with the Yakuza, a dance where one wrong step could be her last. The Hanasaki Geisha House stands as a sanctuary of traditional beauty amidst the modern chaos of Tokyo. Its facade is unassuming, almost demure, a stark contrast to the neon-drenched establishments that surround it. Yet, behind its elegantly painted screens and carefully manicured gardens lies a world of shadows and whispers, a place where desires are traded as freely as secrets. It is here that Jane, now assuming the identity of Madame Sato, will orchestrate her investigation. The Madam of the Hanasaki Geisha House is not just a businesswoman. She is a confidant, a gatekeeper of secrets, privy to the desires and vulnerabilities of Tokyo's elite. She meets her staff, a collection of women from diverse backgrounds, each with their own story to tell. Under the guise of managing the Hanasaki Geisha House, Jane carefully lays the groundwork for her investigation. Her days are spent cultivating an air of sophisticated authority, learning the rhythms of the house and earning the trust of its inhabitants. She studies the clientele, a mix of powerful businessmen, influential politicians, and high-ranking Yakuza members, her sharp mind memorizing faces, conversations, and any detail that might bring her closer to uncovering the truth behind the MI6 agent disappearances. Her nights, however, are a different story. Tokyo's neon-lit labyrinth becomes her playground, a dangerous game of cat and mouse where the stakes are impossibly high. The tension ratchets up with each passing day as Jane uncovers a trail of silenced whispers and carefully concealed clues, a chance encounter with a nervous bartender, a discarded cigarette pack bearing a familiar insignia, a cryptic message scrawled on a bathroom stall. These seemingly insignificant details begin to form a disturbing pattern, hinting at a conspiracy far more vast and deadly than she could have imagined. And then, there is the matter of the origami crane, a single, perfectly folded crane left anonymously on her desk. As the line between Jane's fabricated world and her true purpose blurs, she realizes that she is dancing on the edge of a razor. The Yakuza are not to be underestimated, and the secrets they guard are deadly. Jane's investigation leads her deeper into the heart of the Yakuza organization, culminating in her first encounter with the enigmatic and ruthless Yoshiro Tanaka. Tanaka, the head of the Tanaka-gumi, rules his criminal empire from a lavish tea room, a stark contrast to the gritty back alleys and clandestine nightclubs Jane has frequented in her pursuit of the truth. Their meeting is a delicate dance of veiled threats and subtle probing, a battle of wits waged over steaming cups of green tea and delicate rice crackers. Jane, playing the role of the curious and ambitious madam, must carefully navigate Tanaka's suspicions while gleaning any information she can about his organization's involvement in the MI6 agent disappearances. The Hanasaki Geisha House becomes a stage for a dangerous game of masks and secrets. Jane, ever the astute observer, watches as Yakuza lieutenants and corrupt officials move through her establishment, their conversations a tapestry of half-truths and veiled threats. She learns to decipher the language of fans and gestures, the subtle cues that reveal hidden agendas and simmering tensions beneath the veneer of politeness. She finds herself drawn to Kenji Nakamura, a young and ambitious Yakuza lieutenant torn between his loyalty to Tanaka and a growing unease about the organization's increasingly brutal methods. As Jane delves deeper into the Yakuza underworld, she realizes that she can't achieve her mission alone. She needs allies, people within the organization who are disillusioned or desperate enough to risk everything for a chance at redemption. Her search leads her to Aiko Yamamoto, a geisha at the Hanasaki Geisha House, who harbors a deep-seated resentment towards the Yakuza for their role in her family's downfall. They form a bond of trust and mutual respect, two women from vastly different worlds united by their shared enemy and their desire to see justice served. The strain of living a double life begins to take its toll on Jane. The lines between her true identity and her carefully constructed persona as Madame Sato blur, threatening to shatter the fragile facade she has so meticulously crafted. Sleep becomes a luxury she can barely afford, her dreams haunted by the faces of the fallen MI6 agents and the knowledge that time is running out. She finds solace in stolen moments of reflection, seeking refuge in the tranquility of a traditional Japanese garden or the quiet beauty of a Shinto shrine. As the episode reaches its climax, Jane finds herself at a crossroads, knowing she must act quickly to prevent a devastating plot. The Hanasaki Geisha House, for all its beauty and tranquility, can feel like a gilded cage, its elegance a stark contrast to the brutal reality Jane is uncovering. It's late, the last of the guests have departed, leaving behind the lingering scent of sake and whispered promises. Jane sits alone in her office, the glow of her laptop illuminating her face, her fingers flying across the keyboard. She's trying to piece together the fragments of information she's gathered, but the puzzle remains frustratingly incomplete. A soft chime from her laptop breaks her concentration. It's an encrypted email, routed through a series of anonymous servers, its origins untraceable. The message is short, cryptic, but for Jane, it's like a beacon cutting through the fog of uncertainty. Pearl Harbor? They're planning another Pearl Harbor. The email contains a single clue, a photograph, grainy and partially obscured but still decipherable. It depicts a building, nondescript and seemingly insignificant, but the location embedded in the metadata sends a jolt of adrenaline through Jane. It's a warehouse on the outskirts of Tokyo, a place she's driven past countless times without a second thought. Now, she realizes, it's a place of immense importance, a hidden nexus in the conspiracy she's desperately trying to unravel. The message also contains a warning. Don't trust anyone, they're everywhere. Jane knows she has to proceed with extreme caution as the Yakuza have eyes and ears everywhere. Driven by a renewed sense of urgency, Jane enlists Aiko's help in planning a clandestine visit to the warehouse. They agree to meet under the cover of darkness, their movements veiled by the city's bustling nightlife. As Jane navigates the labyrinthine streets, her senses on high alert, she can't shake the feeling that she's being watched. Inside, the warehouse is dimly lit, its vast interior filled with crates and shipping containers, the air heavy with dust and the musty odor of forgotten cargo. The evidence is chillingly clear. The Yakuza have been using this warehouse to interrogate and eliminate anyone who gets too close to their secret. But what is that secret? Time is running out, and Jane knows she needs to find answers fast. They uncover a hidden room, its entrance concealed behind a false wall. Inside, they find maps, blueprints, and intelligence reports, all pointing to a terrifying truth. The Yakuza, in league with a shadowy foreign power, are planning a coordinated attack on US military bases. The clock is ticking, and she knows that every second counts. She must get this information back to MI6 to prevent a catastrophic war. Back at the Hanasaki Geisha house, the line between performance and reality becomes increasingly blurred for Jane. The opulence of her surroundings, the delicate rituals of the tea ceremony, the silken whispers of the geishas, they all serve as a constant reminder of the danger that lurks beneath the surface of this exquisitely crafted world. She moves through her days with a carefully cultivated air of detachment, her mind racing with the implications of her discovery at the warehouse. She knows she needs to alert MI6, but the communication channels are compromised, their every move likely monitored. The weight of her mission, the knowledge that the fate of nations hangs in the balance, is a heavy burden to bear alone. To make matters worse, a new threat emerges from the shadows. Hiroshi Saito, a high-ranking Japanese official and a frequent guest at the Hanasaki Geisha house. Saito, with his charming demeanor and air of quiet authority, has ingratiated himself into Tokyo's elite circles, but Jane senses a darkness beneath his polished facade. Section 2. The Serpent's Fang. Her instincts prove correct. A coded message from M, intercepted and decrypted back at MI6 headquarters, confirms her suspicions. Saito is a double agent, a mole planted within the Japanese government, working for the very organization orchestrating the attack. And the most chilling part, he's been tasked with ensuring Jane's mission fails by any means necessary. Jane realizes that she's trapped in a deadly game of cat and mouse, hunted by an enemy who moves with the stealth and cunning of a serpent. Every interaction with Saito becomes a test of wills, a delicate dance on the edge of a knife. She must maintain her cover, appear oblivious to his true nature, while desperately searching for a way to expose him and his treacherous agenda. Her only solace, her only confidant in this web of deceit, is Aiko. Together they devise a plan, a risky gambit to turn the tables on Saito and use his own treachery against him. But their plan hinges on trust, a fragile bond forged in the crucible of danger. Section 3. Between Duty and Survival. As Jane navigates the treacherous currents of espionage and betrayal, she finds herself increasingly drawn to Kenji Nakamura, the conflicted Yakuza lieutenant. Kenji, haunted by his own demons, sees a kindred spirit in Jane, a shared understanding of the moral complexities of their world. Their encounters, initially fueled by suspicion and a shared sense of survival, gradually evolve into something deeper, a connection that transcends the boundaries of their respective worlds. Jane recognizes a flicker of humanity in Kenji, a yearning for redemption that mirrors her own internal struggle. But their burgeoning relationship is a dangerous game, a forbidden dance on a razor's edge. Their loyalties lie on opposite sides of a conflict that threatens to consume them both. And as the stakes rise, Jane must confront a heart-wrenching dilemma. Can she remain true to her mission, to her duty to her country, while protecting the man she's come to care for? Section 4. Racing against the tide. With time running out, Jane must take drastic measures. The information she's gathered is time-sensitive. She needs to get proof of the conspiracy into the right hands. Jane devises a daring plan against Saito and the Yakuza. She exploits Saito's ambition, feeding him misinformation. The stage is set for a final explosive confrontation. Jane Bond will not back down. Section 1. A new legacy unfolds. As our journey through the pilot episode of Jane Bond, the Rising Sun mission comes to a close, one thing is abundantly clear: the Bond legacy is in capable hands. Jane, thrust into a world of high-stakes espionage, has proven herself to be as resourceful, courageous, and cunning as her legendary brother. The pilot episode masterfully sets the stage for an electrifying series, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats. We've witnessed Jane's transformation from a highly trained MI6 agent into the enigmatic Madame Sato. The conspiracy Jane has uncovered runs deeper than she could have imagined. As she prepares to face her enemies, she carries the hope of a world free from the shadows of war. One thing is certain: Jane Bond's journey has just begun, and it promises to be a thrilling ride.